they got this ad going on. Did y'all see this ad going on where cops are telling people to stop recording them?
I bet they are.
This year, over 50,000 law enforcement officers have been assaulted while on duty. A vast number of these attacks were filmed and uploaded to social media in the pursuit of likes and attention.
What they want to do is film you instead of like, what can I do to help this officer?
Together, we can change this disturbing trend.
First of all, any organization that puts himself up as law enforcement or a police force that is unwilling or unable to police themselves is nothing more than a criminal organization at best. Okay, so any cop who has a problem with checks and balances, being surveilled, body cam, or civilians showing vigilance as they discharge their duties, that's any cop who has a problem with that is a cop that needs to be up for review. His local and state internal affairs need to go over his arrest records and really look into him. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you need checks and balances, and the police aren't policing themselves. People, keep your cameras out, because so many, like Mark said, so many of these things that happen without this documentation, it's your word against the cops.
Okay, I was gonna say the cops are just tired of getting busted. They're tired of getting caught with their hands in the cookie jar. So don't listen to them fuckers. Keep your cameras out. Keep recording their ass. That's how they get caught.
I think cops need to be filmed. I think the solution to a lot of stuff in society is surveillance. Surveillance solves everything. It solves more than what police are doing. We see the escalation in crime. We have expanded the number of cops we put on the streets and haven't reduced the damn thing because they're not doing their damn jobs. So, and a lot of times they're committing a lot of shit. When they go back and review what cops are saying over radio transmission through their little communication devices and seeing a lot of racially related stuff, a lot of criminal type stuff being conducted by cops, they need to monitor who they got on these forces. And also they need to monitor where these dudes are psychologically. A lot of things changes with these cops. What type of indoctrination they're taking, because some of these cops start on the job and they get around somebody with some old Aryan Brotherhood type mindset, teaching them and influencing them. Now, what does this cop who may have started with good intentions become? It's no different than a prisoner who go in there for probably some minor stuff. He didn't violate something, go to prison. Now he's part of Aryan Brotherhood. These cops ain't no damn different. They need to be monitored. They need to be watched, and they need to be reviewed routinely. Like, we don't need more cops. We need more cameras, and I think recording them is part of that.
They're telling citizens, one, call 911 and give the officers that location. Two, ask the officer if you can assist. If the officer accepts, do what you can to safely help. Three, if the officer declines, then start filming and be a good witness. All of this is assuming that the cops are doing everything right. That's what it appears to me. And let's just use George Floyd being murdered, because that's what the guy was convicted of. He killed that man. Several people who had already called 911 and were calling to report about the officer doing. This happens all the time where people call 911 and they tell 911 it's an officer doing some fucked up shit. They don't. You can hear the 911 calls from there. They don't. The 911 dispatcher does not naturally assume that the officer is doing something wrong. And they send out more cops, and those cops, as soon as they see that, they don't assess the situation. They see him with somebody on the ground, he runs and puts his knee on his back too. I never seen a guy officer run up and say, "Hey, what's going on here?" No, he jumps in on the ass whipping.